There was a time when mobile gaming was once hailed as the future of the industry. With powerful smartphones in nearly every pocket and the convenience of on-the-go access, the potential for immersive, innovative gaming experiences seemed limitless. It was a platform that could reach billions of people, cutting across age, gender and region. Everyone from hardcore gamers to casual players could theoretically enjoy engaging experiences without the need for expensive hardware. But fast forward to today and that promise feels largely unfulfilled. Instead of creative breakthroughs, mobile gaming has become synonymous with microtransactions, ads, and repetitive gameplay loops. Many of the most popular games in the App Store are built less for engagement and more for monetization. While they may be fun in short bursts, they rarely offer the depth, storytelling, or gameplay complexity found in console or PC titles. In most cases, you're not playing a game, you're engaging with a product designed to extract as much money from you as possible. So what went wrong? Mobile gaming had a humble beginning. Games like Snake on early Nokia phones were incredibly simple, but they hinted at the potential of mobile interactivity. With the introduction of smartphones and the App Store in 2008, titles like Angry Birds, Doodle Jump and Temple Run became global hits. These games were easy to pick up and play, addictive and perfectly suited for the mobile format. For a brief moment, it seemed like mobile gaming could rival traditional gaming experiences in popularity and quality. The core issue lies in the business model. Unlike PC or console games, which typically have an upfront cost, mobile games are usually free to play. This free model has led developers to shift focus from delivering a complete, satisfying game to creating systems that encourage players to spend money over time. Whether it's energy timers that force you to wait to play, loot boxes that tap into gambling psychology, or endless upgrades that require premium currency. The goal is often to nudge users into making small, repeated purchases. These tactics aren't designed to enhance gameplay, they're meant to manipulate user behavior. What's particularly troubling is how these monetization techniques rely on psychological exploitation. Developers often use variable rewards, FOMO, fear of missing out, and daily login bonuses to condition players into habitual engagement. These techniques are incredibly effective at generating revenue, but come at the cost of player well-being and satisfaction. It's no surprise that comparisons to gambling are frequently made. This is what rubbed me the wrong way the most. It just makes the player feel like a guinea pig that is being tested on and manipulated in order for big companies to benefit from them. This is the biggest reason why I don't play games on my phone, because the psychology behind them just feels wrong and exploitative. This doesn't mean all mobile games are bad. There are exceptions. Indie developers and even some larger studios have created meaningful experiences on mobile platforms. Titles like Monument Valley, Alto's Odyssey and Florence show that beauty, creativity and emotion storytelling are possible on mobile. Some ports of console or PC games like Stardew Valley, Terraria and Minecraft seem to retain their quality, but they are the minority. The dominant trend is clear: low cost development, high reward mechanics and monetization over artistry. With the kind of hardware modern phones have, multi-core processors, high resolution screens and powerful GPUs, mobile games could be a true frontier for innovation. Developers could explore new genres, experiment with augmented reality or create deeper narrative experiences that utilize the unique features of mobile devices like GPS, gyroscopes or touch controls, similar to how Nintendo approaches their game design and console design. But instead, greed has turned much of the mobile gaming space into a race to the bottom, prioritizing profits over progress. It's also worth noting that many younger gamers are growing up with mobile gaming as their first introduction to gaming. This means a whole generation is potentially being introduced to gaming through shallow, repetitive titles that function more like slot machines rather than an interactive art form. It shapes their expectations and understanding of what games can and should be. I think that could have long-term effects on the broader industry if those expectations are not eventually challenged. Despite the monetization plague, some developers are still trying to bring light into the darkness. Games like Genshin Impact, while still monetized and far from my cup of tea, show that mobile games can offer production values comparable to console titles. Subscription models like Apple Arcade offer a glimmer of hope, giving users access to quality games without intrusive ads or microtransactions. These models prove that there is still a demand for high quality, ethical mobile experiences. But there's still hope. As gamers become more aware and demanding, and as the indie scene continues to push boundaries, the mobile space might eventually evolve. Subscription models have shown a glimpse of what a quality first approach could look like, providing players with full ad-free games for a fixed monthly fee. Developers might also begin to embrace ethical monetization strategies like cosmetic cosmetic only purchases or one-time payments to create a healthier and more positive gaming ecosystem. But I doubt it. Mobile gaming simply makes these companies way too much money for them to ever change their ways. One of the most damaging consequences of this monetization first approach is the erosion of player trust. Many users go into a new mobile game expecting to be bombarded with pop-ups, timers, or paywalls. This creates a toxic environment where even genuinely good games struggle to gain traction because they exist in a market oversaturated with exploitative ones. As a result, developers who want to make something special are often forced to compromise or risk their game being ignored entirely. This has led some players to assume that even the good mobile games are most likely filled to the brim with overly excessive monetization and the usual mobile gaming trends. But for now, the tragedy of mobile gaming isn't just what it could be, it's what it chose to become. In a rush for profit, it sacrificed integrity, depth, and long-term engagement. Until that changes, mobile gaming will remain a cautionary tale, a story of wasted opportunity on one of the most accessible and potentially revolutionary platforms in gaming history. It stands as a stark reminder of how corporate interests can completely take over and consume an entire gaming subspace. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting or relatable, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on mobile gaming. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know that you're enjoying the content. See you next time.